Hey, it's Stuart Sutton at 1 Acre Plus Homes. We've got some really good news and not so good news. Let's take a look at them both. You're going to be pretty surprised. This is a comparison of November of 23 compared to November of 22 plus year-to-date November 2023. Let's take a look. So we're going to start with what everyone wants to know, sales. How many sales were there? Well, November of 23 compared to November of 22, we saw a 34% drop in sales. Now that's substantial. 34% fewer home sales. Now, don't let that really concern you dramatically because the year-to-date stat shows there's a 13% drop-off in home sales. So in the entire year of 23 through November, compared to the entire year of 22 through November, we only saw a 13% drop. November was pretty substantial, no doubt. November 23 compared to 22 showed a pretty big change. So let's take a look at something else everybody is always interested in. The average price. What's going on with home prices on 1 acre plus properties? Well, in November, we saw the average close price 13% higher than a year ago. Now, don't get too excited and think, oh my gosh, we're up 13% a year. That's not necessarily the case. The pool of data is actually fairly small for 1 month worth of sales of 1 acre plus properties. It's not like the entire Austin area with all the subdivision homes. This is just 1 acre plus homes. And this market performs differently, as you know from other videos I've done. But year to date, we're seeing the average price up 2%. And that's more in line with what we've expected. You see, the first year after the frenzied market, we saw a 4% increase. In the second year after the frenzied market, we saw a 4% decrease. So year to date, we're up about 2% on average price for homes on an acre or more. Well, how long is it taking to sell those homes? Well, it does take a little longer. Guess what? In November, an average of 153 days. So the homes that closed in November were on the market an average of 153 days. Now you think, well, that sounds horrible. Well, it's really not horrible. It's just a different scenario, a different situation. Year to date, we're seeing an average of 78 days. Now, November, again, not a big pool of data, so we had a few homes sell in November that had really long terms on the market, which pushed that number up some. But we're pushing 78, 80 days. We're looking at a little longer time in the market than what we used to for the last few years. But it's a return to normalcy because this is what is fairly typical in the 1 acre plus market. It usually takes a little longer to sell a home on an acre or more than a home in a subdivision. How close are buyers paying compared to the asking price? Well, in November, the homes that closed in 23, it was 96%, which is considerably lower than a year ago. Now, for the year, it's just shy of 96%. So I think we can easily say that 96% is about what people are paying for a home on an acre or more in our market. That actually is slightly less than normal. I've been saying continually that we're returned to a normal market. The normal negotiation is about 3%, closer to 97%. So we're slightly below that. Now, what is price change? I'm not talking about the average price. I'm not talking about appreciation. I'm not talking about values. I'm talking about what kind of price change was made before homes went under contract. Well, in November of 23, the homes that closed had been decreased an average of 7%. Now, that's fairly substantial if you think about it. An $800,000 house, which is fairly median, 7% is about $56,000. So average price reduction for homes on an acre or more was about $56,000 for homes that closed in November of 23. Now year to date, that's about 5%. Homes that went on the market were reduced about 5% before they actually went under contract. And that's, again, a fairly normal return to a typical market. So I want to share something with you real quick. I actually have made another video on this, but when a seller puts a home on the market at a very appropriate market price and does not have to change their price at all, they sell higher than homes that go on the market higher and have to reduce. They sell closer to asking price. Looks like a typo in there. Sorry about that. and they sell faster. So I want you to think about this. Sometimes pricing your house lower means you get more money, and this is proof of that. Trying to get a very aggressive price and then having to lower the price actually ends up costing you money before you go to the closing table. And with other stats like how many new listings were there in November of 23 compared to 22, how many pending listings, how many were removed from the market, actually they were all about the same. So we're seeing a similar number of homes come on the market, a similar number of homes that went pending, and a similar number of homes that were removed from the market. So fairly reasonable normalcy with a few exceptions, like the big drop in the number of sales compared to November of a year ago, and the big increase in the price on the average compared to a year ago. But year to date, we're about 2% above where we were a year ago in average price. It's taking longer to sell homes on an acre or more, but that's a fairly reasonable number that we looked at, 78 days on the average. As a matter of fact, in 2018, 2019, which we thought were great years, took actually a little longer than that. So we are still in a very good market for homes on an acre or more. Key is, you just have to be a little more patient. And if you really understand what's going on, you'll price your home just a little bit lower than you might think you need to, and you'll end up doing better than if you lower your price a few times. Now I'm going to throw another video up. This video is about preparation. Measure twice, cut once. Be prepared. The better prepared you are, the more money you'll make. I've also included a very powerful home selling secret in that video. So here's that video right here. It's all about preparation, and it really does include a powerful secret you'll probably never hear from anyone else. Hope to see you there. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Put a like down there for me, and remember, it's your choice. Make it a powerful day. Bye-bye.